So I decided to take a new look at the center stepper card, and I took my stained glass punch and punched out the center on this card. I think it's kind of darling. So let me show you what I did for that. How did I do it? So I started out with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I removed 3 inches, which left me with a piece that is now 5.5 by 11. I used my trusty Fiskars trimmer. So I put my paper in my Fiskars trimmer, and because I know I'm going to have a 1-inch border on either side, I brought my paper up to the 4.5-inch mark, let down my guide, put it at the 1-inch mark because I know I want to come in 1 inch from the edge, and I'm going to score down to the 6.5-inch mark. And once that's aligned, I can stop and take it out. Now, for me, my blade is a little dull. So when I cut, you can actually see the part that pressed down. So I don't want to flip it over and cut it again because my sides won't look the same. So only on my trimmer. I am going to turn it and put it back into the cutter at the 4.5-inch mark. But this time, instead of coming from the top, I'm going to come from the bottom. I still want my inch. I'm going to start at the 10 this time, and I'm going to slide up to 5.5. So now I have my 2 slits for the sides. You are done with your paper trimmer. Feel free to put that to the side. Now, while I was working on this, I decided that because I had everything out, why not go ahead and do a bunch of them? So I just pulled some colors, and I got busy just cutting a whole bunch of them out. Now it's time to pull in whatever scoring board you prefer. So with my scorer, I'm going to score from the 1-inch mark up to the cut line. Then I'm going to score from the 2-inch mark up to the cut line. Down here from the 6.5-inch mark to the cut line. Now the other one is scored at 5.5, and here's where you're scoring blind. What I do is I just lightly come across the channel without digging in to make sure I'm still in the groove, and I'm going to score inside of the cut line at the 5.5-inch mark. So from cut line to cut line at the 5.5-inch mark, we're going in between those two. Now I just need to flip it around and do the same thing. But this time I'm at the other end of the paper. So I'm going to score at 10 up to the cut line, and then at 9 up to the cut line, and then again at 5.5 up to the cut line. And that is the base for the stepper card. Now I'm bringing back in my mat because I'm now ready to do some punching. And so what I did on the stained glass in order to achieve this was I pre-cut this, and it's acting as my template. So I know that the measurement inside of here from the score line all the way down is 5.5. And going across, it is 3 and just about a half. I did not want to go into this bottom part, so I took off about an inch. So I'm working with 3.5 inches by 4 inches. I took my ruler and measured this, and when I measured 2 of these stained glasses across, they come to 3 inches. So I know if this measures 3.5, I'm leaving off a 1/4 inch on either side. Now I know I don't want to go down any further than this score line. So placing my ruler here, I can mark where my 1/4 inch mark is going to about here also. Now, here comes the real technical part of it. You can also do it really easily just by sitting this down and by eyeballing it. You can do it by eye and say, oh, here's where I want these 2 end pieces to land. Guys, don't laugh at me for this next part. I looked at that and thought, how in the world am I ever going to get that to line up? So once I had it by eye, I took my pencil and just went into that hole because I know that's where I want to punch out. So now the only thing left is to line it up to punch it. So how do I do it and know where it's going to land? Gosh, again, you guys ask the best questions. So I took this, and because I can't see through here to see what I'm doing, I took one of my quilter's pins, stuck a hole in that one on the bottom, went into my base plate on the bottom, and stuck my pin right there. And guess what? Now I'm all lined up. Isn't that cool? Told you it was technical. So once I get this first one punched, I am going to be so good to go. It is not going to be even funny. So I'm going to stop talking and start punching. I have this lined up. I know it's in the right place. I'm going to remove my technical tool. Come in with this. I'm always to the left. Grab those magnets, pop it down, and I'm ready to go. Voila. That's about as good as it gets. So I'm going to continue going across and punching this out. You can watch or you can fast forward through my fast forward. And voila, there she blows. Gorgeous. Just cleaned up my pencil marks and now we're ready to do some folding. Is a mountain fold at the bottom. Then naturally, the second one where you scored at the 2-inch is a valley fold. Up at the top, you have a mountain fold, which are the 6-inch. And then at the 5-inch, you also have another mountain fold. And you're going to come in with your bone folder and really crease down all of those score marks. And once you're finished, voila, there it is. But I didn't stop there. I went into this die cut with a view pack that I got. It's the Naturals at Joann's for $2.97, great price. And the papers in here are beautiful. And as you can see, some are very shimmery and metallic-like. So I thought, what about using that to, take my card up another notch? So I chose this pattern and cut some pieces for my card. These two end pieces are 3/4 by, looks like 4 1/8 inches. And this one is 3/4, and I wanted it to go the entire length, so it is 5 1/2. This one fits the panel behind, so it's just 3 1/2, but it's shy on the long side, so it is just about 1/8 shy of 5 1/2. So this piece now will go under the back of here, just to give a little more of an interesting look to this beautiful stained glass pattern and to make it show up a little. And you have just those flecks of metallic in the back, and in person it is quite stunning. So then on the side panels, I will put these shorter pieces, and there will be just a slight border there around them. And then on the bottom, you can put this piece going all the way across. And so there you have the beginnings of a really beautiful center step, stained glass enhanced stepper card. So it would look great for a masculine card. I'm thinking these are so easy. I might do these for my Christmas cards. Put my greeting on there and put Willow on the front. I don't know, but I'm kind of liking how this turned out. So here's the card. I didn't glue anything down, but you can see that your possibilities on this are endless. This is my stained glass punched all over the center step of this card. As always, thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkallusions.blogspot.com. Until then,